Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the first members only video, and I just want to thank you all so much for joining me here and supporting me as a creator. Today is the first video of the forever save file rotational gameplay. Now, that is an absolute mouthful to say. We are going to go in and create our first household. So, I have created a new save file. It is going to be my forever save file because I don't know how many of you go in, play a couple households, you move around a bit, and then you delete the save file and you start new, and there's just, like, no emotional attachment. There's no accountability for what you're doing with your Sims, you're just kind of doing whatever, and I saw a few other creators do it, and they've created their forever save file, and so I think that I'm gonna give it a try because I think it's a way to bond more with your Sims, which is a weird thing to say, but I guess it's just kind of a way to feel some attachment to your hard work at the end of the day. I mean, a lot of people love building, and so they spend hours and hours building homes and, furnishing them and whatnot. And then at the end of the day, you're deleting that to put a new one in there. Or, same goes for your Sims. You create this family and you spend hours making them based on an idea in your head that this is what they're going to be. And then you're done with them after like an hour. And so this way, we are going to play a rotational gameplay with our forever save file. And so I've opened it, a brand new world, and we're going in to create our first family. And this is Patrick Costello and Simone Sailor, and they are quite the couple. So he is a mixologist, or he plans on being a mixologist, and he is very laid back and chill. And Simone is very business. She's all about the money. Uh, you know, she's like an it girl, I guess, in my mind. She might have been a cheerleader in high school. She just doesn't have time for shenanigans, I guess is the proper word. She's very bougie, fancy, doesn't care. And she is engaged to Patrick. And so together they are going to buy a fixer-upper and work together to bring it together and, put their own character into the house. That is going to be our forever house for them while they I don't know, build a life together. And so here we've chosen the absolute worst house. The absolute worst build in Willow Creek for sure. Um, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna start their remodel. And so we're gonna remove all this junk and we're gonna stretch it out. We are literally gutting the house like an actual remodel. The only difference is they're gonna be living in it during the remodel. So I'm going to remove as much as I can to save them as much money. Um, We're gonna take away one of the 2 doors because we don't need 2 doors to one house. I'll never understand how that ever managed to I don't even know, there's no word for what I'm thinking right now. I don't know how that's like, how did they swing that when they put that lot in? But so we are gonna go ahead and remove all of this extra stuff that we actually don't need, just like we were renovating a house. So I'm also taking away these 2 tile doors because I think that's a lot of wasted space, to be honest. I'm bringing the house down to smaller heights because I think tall heights are extra and they make the builds feel really empty, you know? So we're going in and now we're just placing the necessities for them really quickly. And we're gonna try to use as much money as we can to get this renovation going. So I guess in this sense, it'll kind of be like a rags to riches, but not really, okay? Because they're going to be working Sims who are living their best life in a house that they are renovating. They got it for cheap, let's just say. If I was looking for a house on the market, I would want a cheap one that I could see what I could do with it, like, there would be an image there, and this house has to be the worst house, it needs so much love. So we're getting the necessities, like I said, we got the computer, the fridge, the oven, we've got the toilet. I'm throwing in a little TV here, and we're gonna need a little table. I really want them to have, like, the basics at the bare minimum, you know, the color scheme. Guys, this isn't the Ritz right now, we are just simply throwing stuff in here to make it work for them. Forgot some windows, but yeah, so I'm trying to add some shape to this house. Now, obviously, right now, it looks massive and empty and way out of place, and as it should, but we are not done adding to it, and we will work on it as we go, as you would in a DIY style house. Now, we're not gonna be living in the upstairs, we're gonna live downstairs because the upstairs, to be honest, I don't even know what we're gonna be doing with that. So my idea for this rotational gameplay is going to be from Sunday to Sunday in one household, and then the following week we will create a new household and run Sunday to Sunday with them. Now, on the 3rd week, I will come back to Patrick and Simone, and the 4th week, I will go back to the next household, and the following week, create a new one. So, they will not auto age during that time that I'm playing the weeks with the other household, but I really just wanna create this versatile world where I don't feel bored from playing the same Sims in the same situation over and over again. So I've chosen, um, like, the mixology skill because it's not something I normally play with, and I think it's really interesting to do things that you don't normally do in The Sims. I think that's how you kind of keep on top of your boredom. And with Simone, she is gonna find a career, like, she's posh, right? So we don't just want her in business, I don't think. So I'm gonna go look, see what else we can give to her that would make her just feel so top dollar. And I think that's the law career. I think the law career is for her, you know? Like, she just can't be bothered with things, and I think for her, this is the way she needs to go. My mind, I don't know how they ended up together as Sims or, as individuals, I'm gonna say, because in my mind, they're, like, kind of opposites. She's very high strung and very high maintenance. She requires the best of the best, and this DIY is like a fad for her. This is trendy, and she's just gonna do it with her new beau. And he's just, like, along for the ride, He's like, "Whatever, I'm gonna mix my drinks, do whatever makes her happy, and live my best life." He's thinking that this is with her. And so, with that being said, I think I've set them up so that they're kind of opposites, which is gonna be cool to see because normally, obviously, my Sims are very similar. They have very similar wants, very similar needs in terms of goals and aspirations. When I make Sim families, I'm either like, "Yes, this is going to be a family-oriented gameplay for me," or, "Okay, no, these are going to be hardworking Sims. I want the best of the best. I want, like, easy peasy, do what you can." But this time I'm kind of just dabbling in all the little things, and so that is where Patrick and Simone come into play.